All right, welcome to Mr. Miller's Woodshop podcast. I'm your host, Bobby Miller. So happy to be here with you. Thanks for tuning in. Apologies right off the bat for not being here all that much this spring. I've got a good I've got a good reason and good um, many reasons why. But if you're looking at me on video right now, repping the Skills USA shirt. So thank you, Skills USA. We'll talk about them in a little bit. Cardinal mural is done. We just got to wipe on some protective layers so we can prevent graffiti artists from adding to it in the years to come. But want to say first that this is going to go to more of a monthly or even quarterly podcast as we get into the later spring and summer months. It's just the case that as a teacher, the spring is a really busy time. It's a crazy time. And summer, you think, oh, this guy's going to go and work on his tan and work on his tennis game. No, that's not the case. I've got to work to provide for my family over the summer. So it might not be the case where I get to check in with you guys all the time. And I'll probably I have slowed considerably social media posts, but got a lot of good legacy content. If you want to see anything about what happens in a high school woodshop today, definitely check back. I mean, I went through first and second trimester, so 2/3 of the year, with basically every single day, even weekends, posting things, and little more on that as we end here today. But just want to kind of recap. I don't know when the next one will be. I thought about making this kind of a sign-off day, and so long, but I don't know. I'll probably produce one more before I leave for summer vacation with more of an update on what my summer looks like. I'm spending a good chunk of my evenings now trying to figure out what I do this summer. But let's talk about the spring. It has been a very productive, very fruitful, very exciting spring. And I went through my whole planner here. I'm holding up my planner, and I usually am way more organized than this, but it's just the case where I want to check in with you guys. So let's see, what have we been up to? The Skills USA event was a few weeks ago. That was really exciting and a great learning opportunity for us. We had never done it. I felt the communication was a little rough because we went into it not really knowing all that much, even though I asked and asked and asked, and they did their best, right? Okay, it's hard to onboard a rookie organization, so we did good. We did not take last place. I told my boys that were participating, like, the goal is not last place. Okay, I don't know if we'll get first, but we're definitely not going to get last. And I'll have more on the Skills USA event in a little bit. We're going to the Minnesota Woodworkers Guild tonight. It is currently 5:30 on a Friday, and so I'm just waiting for the van to become available to us so we can drive down to the Guild event down in Eden Prairie. So that's why I'm talking to you guys now. The Woodwork Career Alliance saw blade certification is one thing I'm bringing to the program, and so that's taking a lot of legwork to try to get that going and writing grants so we can reduce some student fees and whatnot. Working on charcuterie boards for our culinary department across the district here. I'm in the biggest district in Minnesota, and so we need a good deal of charcuterie boards so that our culinary students can have something quality to cut on. I've got a friend of mine who's a big-time barbecuer influencer on Instagram, and he's got one too. We haven't really talked anything about that, but I'm kind of using that as kind of my pilot, like, you want to see what I can do kind of thing. Like, I'm not the teacher who is defined by those who can't, at least in the wood shop. I feel like I'm pretty well suited there. We had Easter, and so we made up a ton of, I don't have one around here, but if you picture The Last Supper by Da Vinci, that painting, we carve out a whole bunch three-dimensionally for grandmas and aunts and uncles and their priests and pastors. And so I really like to punch in for kids on that one so that we can take some scrap and really make it into a beautiful thing. I'm not allowed to post on it on Instagram, pictures of it, but if you guys want the file, I'll give you that for free. But it's a pretty cool thing, I think. And we turn out a ton of them, and we just keep those CNCs humming. And like, those are the days, like, I literally leave TMI, but really sweaty because, like, I'm running all over the place. Our shop is huge, and so I'm running between CNCs trying to help kids. They're the ones that do it, but usually they need that kind of coach over their shoulder. This is how you zero the bit. This is what you want to look for. This is what the tool change is going to look like, things like that. It's been a big grants and scholarships spring. Many of these I have not ever applied for or just became aware, and I'm really, excuse me, ring device going on. My guess is that my mother-in-law's over. So thanks for being here, Joni, if you ever listen to this. Yeah, some of these grants that students are applying for, or I should say scholarships that students are applying for, I'm kind of helping coach them as best I can. It's a letter of recommendation time. Really cool bit of news is that one of our neighboring schools that went on the industry tour with us just accepted a job at the place where we toured a few weeks ago, which is pretty cool. I'm glad that they filled the position. They offered it to one of our students first, and our student turned it down for a different job. So it was exciting because the industry partner won, the student won, and the kid here, he chose to go on to bigger and brighter, and that's fine. Okay, it doesn't work out for everybody. Let's see. So I'm applying for a lot of grants for our school here. I was actually mic'd up all day today so that they could check the decibel range, because one of the grants I wrote is for replacement of a spindle on our CNC machine. We got this wonderful Shop Saver CNC. I would use it way, way more if it had a quieter spindle on it. And they make one, they sell one. I've gotten quotes for it for 4 years. I have tried to get funding to replace this spindle. And for 4 years, I've been told no. I have gone through multiple channels. I'm not just asking the same person. I even wrote up a grant at my own personal bank because they had a teacher grant program. And it says, how can we improve your classroom? And well, here's what you can do. And I got rejected for it. But I'm not one to, really accept no if you followed me along for any time. If it's good for kids, I'm going to keep after it. And there's a lot of bureaucracy in this district. And really, the spring has been probably the biggest roller coaster I've ever been on as far as highs and lows. More highs than lows, thankfully. I'm not going anywhere. I love Coon Rapids. I want to continue teaching here. A couple other school districts have tried to recruit me. Thank you. That's very kind and flattering. But I had a really good thing going here. The community support is exceptional. It's a nice thing. I'm 15 minutes from my home. I'm usually home by 3, and that is a blessing to my family. And so I'm going to keep up that. So I'm hopeful that this grant works out. Yes, I want to stay in the call so I don't have to re-record this podcast here. Let's see. Another grant I'm really excited about is the Harbor Freight Tools for Schools grant. Last spring, about this time, I got wind of the Shop Class podcast, and I seriously listened to every single episode. They've got probably close to 100 episodes, and I listened to every single one of them over the spring and summer. It would just be basically, I'm mowing my lawn, and I got Matthew Barberchek in my ear, and he's talking about the Harbor Freight Tools for Schools, and it's really a shame that I've never heard of it. Okay, I've been a shop teacher now since the inception of the award, and it's totally flown over my head, and it's maybe because I'm in the wood shop and Harbor Freight is more metals and automotive, but I've taught metals, and I'm teaching engineering next year and graphics, and I've done a little bit in the autos world, but really it's not my skill set. And even welding, I'm a decent welder, but like my true passion is carpentry and woodworking and construction. So like that's my niche, and it's for those teachers too, from my understanding. I know it's harder for them to get it, but where there's a will, there's a way, and I got a lot of will and a lot of energy, and I think that we'll do okay. If anything, there was a couple of years ago, one of the teachers in this district won a smaller award from Harbor Freight, and that's really cool. I'm grateful for anything because it's good for kids. It doesn't take me away from my family or my students. It's going to be a win-win. I mean, I could just be hanging out during prep or shooting the breeze with the custodians, which I do, and I enjoy that. But no, I've got a lot of energy. I want to focus it towards the things that are worthwhile and are better for kids. We've done some fundraising for the Woodworking Club, work concessions. The tennis team and I are closely related. Our department head here is the head tennis coach and has been for the last 26 years. And so I try to help them out as much as I can that need some time after school. I played tennis in high school. I'm an avid pickleball player now, and um, I like doing that stuff. So kind of outside, starting to get a Minnesota suntan, so that's kind of neat. We got a new printer out in graphics, and we lost our communications person, and I'm technically licensed in communications, so I'm the guy that gets to set it up and figure it out and organize trainings and teach kids how to use something I'm learning how to do myself, which is exciting. But I really like the marketing aspect of it, and that's kind of what I've turned the graphics program into. It's from what I understand in the graphics world, that's a big part of it. So it's learning with them. We're learning how to build websites. We're learning how to create graphics, integrate AI. It's the total imposter syndrome. I mean, I am a woodshop teacher. They are students who want to go into the digital arts and graphic industry. And who's this redneck in front of us right now? But you know, they see I'm passionate about it. They know it's something I'm learning alongside with them. A lot of them too, especially the intro students. They know that I'm only a few steps ahead of them. And once we get to level, I've got a couple of my graphics 3 students who are helping lead the charge in figuring out the printer. So that's kind of a fun thing. All right. So I got the new printer, working on our summer woodworking club. The first week of the summer every year, the past couple of years, I've set up a summer woodworking club. Last year was crazy because it was more community members than actual students of the school. A lot of homeschool or private school students opted to take my classes based on what they saw online. And last year, the price was significantly higher than it was this year, which was a mitigating factor for my community, which they're not going to come and pay $120 for a week and materials. But that's what community ed set. I got paid a great wage of like $21 an hour, which I'm grateful for. It helps my family, but it's only a half day of work for me. It's really to kind of just help build the program. I'd make way more if I was just doing my own personal stuff or working at a local cabinet shop, but it's good for kids. I can take a little bit of a dip at that time. So, I mean, it works out. Um, the principal in this building and I are working together at this house right now and building shelves. And I've had other teachers ask like, "Hey, will you help me build a deck? Will you install my patio door?" Like, no, sorry. I love you, but I'm not driving out to, do this. But when it's the principal himself and he's being encouraged by his wife, then okay, I will help you out. We haven't set anything up, but we've had a really good spring getting to know my principal. And so this is just another way for us to kind of bond. And it's a important contact to make for all of you new teachers who are listening right now. Get to know your principal, stay on their good side. And yeah, this is just one way that I can. And he's hiring me to do it. So it's kind of a cool thing too. Working on a couple blog posts for some websites, the WCMA. There's a local magazine here that has showcased me in the past. They are called. I'm sorry, I'm blanking on the name. All right, that's why I got to take better notes here. It's a real professional operation, as you can tell, but working on stuff for them. The Harbor Freight Tools for Schools application is pretty in-depth. It's almost like taking a college class. That's what Barbercheck said all those years ago on his podcast. And so it is still that way, but I'm learning too. He had a video on how to integrate AI in a wood shop. And it's like mind blowing. Like, yes, okay, I'm starting this stuff tomorrow and I'm going to have the kids show me, because usually on that front, the kids are a little bit more in depth anyway. So uploading a picture to AI, I don't know how to do that, but I'm sure some kid does. So I'll make the announcement tomorrow, like, hey, who knows how to use pictures in AI? And I'll have some, Poindexter kid showing me how to do it. And look at that, we're teaching each other. There's a construction teacher conference coming up here at the end of May at the end of April, beginning of May, that I'm a part of. And so I'm excited for that. We just wrapped up our industry tours for the year. We went to Everwood Friends, toy manufacturer in Ham Lake, and Lakeside Cabinets, and now then just a hop, skip, and a jump from the school, short bus ride, easy commute for the kids that want to. go there. Now that I'm thinking about it, the kid that accepted the job at Everwood Friends, he's probably very close to there because that shop where they work out of is actually within the boundaries of that high school. And so that's pretty darn cool. A kid might be able to ride his bike to go work at the local wood shop. So we wrapped up our industry tour. Career fair was great. 25 local industries, and this one was specific just to seniors. I took one of my classes down of mostly seniors, but I wanted to go too. I'm looking for summer work, so I told them like, "Hey, I'm going down there in the same shoes as you are, so let's go find a summer job for all of us." And kids joke or laugh, but like, no, I'm serious. I'm going to see what landscaping companies are hiring the best to just haul a wheelbarrow or, you know, build a retaining wall. Like I can still handle that. I still got enough brawn to do those labor jobs, but hoping that's kind of coming to an end. So, yeah, that's kind of it. The things I'm most excited for are the Harbor Freight Tools for Schools grant. That would be $70,000 for the school here, and $30,000 if I win the grand prize for myself, which is a significant thing. We've got 3 little kids, mortgage, car payments, some student debt, and we've chosen to keep my wife home. And we are blessed by that and her sacrifices. And so I just got to make hay while the sun shines. So I'm hopeful for that. And the opportunity to have that kind of a grant in here would revolutionize my program. So Harbor Freight Tools for Schools, something I'm excited for. If you're not a local teacher or local national teacher, international teacher, like apply for that one. That would be a great one. I know there's a significant amount of you people in Australia that listen to me. So let me think. Robert, Mike, blanking on the other guy that have reached out. But thank you for all your kind words and support. And I'm glad that it's helping you. The SkillsUSA contest was really fun. I think I talked a little bit about that. That was exciting. That was kind of a boondoggle to get into, and we've got funding for that in our district for SkillsUSA because they're such a wonderful organization. But it was just a challenge to make it happen because, like, yes, the process exists. We're the biggest district. We got some bureaucracy we got to get through, but it was just head scratching. So, like, getting myself van certified, making sure the proper permission forms were signed, making sure that we had the right attire was just challenging. But next year we'll do far better. And my old high school that I taught at, Cambridge, actually won first place in cabinet making. So I'm glad that I left a good program for my predecessor. But I'm a competitive guy. I mean, I got home and I told my wife, like, I can't believe they won. Like, why? And I'm happy for the kid. He did an awesome job, crushed it. Good for them. WCA, I'm excited for. Really hopeful for some kids to get that. Kind of talked about our industry tours. If you're interested in setting up an industry tour, reach out. I've done so many of them now, and like, there's a good way to do it. I've done a podcast on exactly how to do it. So just skip back in the queue, and we'll see that. Working on the Castle competition right now too, the Castle wood machinery where they make the screw pocket holes. Got some students working on that. So like we're busy, we're excited, we're in there. We've got the Fresh Wood contest, we've got the Young Wood Pro contest. I'm getting ready for AWFS. I'm speaking at that in the summer, and yeah, it's definitely a busy time, and it's a challenging time for schools in the spring because we just had registration in the winter. So now we deal with staffing, and you hear, that, a great teacher didn't get hired back. Oh, that teacher is leaving to go back to industry. So on that note, I'm teaching engineering next year for a couple classes on an overload, which is a blessing to my family because that means extra money. It's essentially like a bonus, but I don't get an off hour during the day, so I have even more on my plate. But I'm a team player, and when the principal asked, it was not even a question. Like, yes, I would love to. I'll connect with that teacher. I'll get trained over the summer and make it happen for him. And I like the teacher that's leaving, so I'm glad that he is going on to bigger and brighter in his mind. So good for them. Tough for us, but we'll make it happen. And the principal told me, like, you've grown the woodshop program despite a declining student population at our school. Do the same for our biomed program. Like, okay, all right, I'll do my best. Yeah, so the staffing thing is challenging. I personally just had a really troublesome time with a student's parent basically attacking me, not in a physical way, but just hounding me. And it was a case where it was a student that I worked with and made time for after school. And even after the trimester, I even did his project for him, but he didn't like the way that the interaction went. And the overall thing is the student was on his phone, talking with friends, not engaged. And mom is just one of those snowplow parents that just removes every obstacle, demanded a better grade. And like, I'm sorry, this is what your kiddo earned, and went all the way up to the principal. I'm in the principal's office. I was in the principal's office 2 times in 1 week for one reason or another. And this was just a challenge. Like, I've very seldom like shed tears in this building, but that was a day where it really came crashing down, and that was challenging, but grateful for my principal. Had my back. He excused me when the attack came and protected me, and that was a really cool thing. So thank you, John Pena, if you ever listen to this. Yeah, so challenging spring, but brighter days ahead, that's for sure. We've got a great outlook, really, really good outlook. And just in the springtime too, it's exciting too for Minnesotans to get out and enjoy after being so cold all winter. Our football coach left, and so like things like the next head football coach pick, kind of miffed us all a little bit. Like, really, you went from the guy who was kind of the obvious pick to someone out of the community and out of the school, and like they're bringing him in. We're onboarding him right. I've met him. I've tried hard not to like him, but he's just such a darn likable guy. And it's like, okay, he wants some help rebranding, and so he hears that I'm the kind of the marketing guy and the graphics guy, and he wants some stuff carved out of wood. And I'm like, all right, yeah, you're asking in a really nice way. You are supporting our kids. You're helping me incorporate real life things into the curriculum. Like, I like that. Like, thank you. So, yeah. But I wanted the other guy to win, or win the spot. But whatever. We're still friends. He's okay with it. It was hard, but that was that. So let's see. I want to talk about summer a little bit. You can stay connected with me on LinkedIn. The last newsletter is probably the best thing to read if you want a recap of all this or send to anybody. I'll be on Instagram a little bit, but I got some legacy content created. And if you guys want to know what a high school woodshop or high school tech ed program, follow Mr. Miller's Woodshop, follow Coon Rapids Tech Ed on Instagram. Right now, I'm focused on summer. I'm returning to safety speed in a limited role. It's not a full-time role like last year. So if you are interested in hiring an old woodshop teacher with a few weeks of work and talented in some of this online space, I'm in talks with one company I worked for a couple of years ago and helping set them up a social media feed and kind of grow their online presence. It sounds like the craziest thing in the world coming out of my mouth. That's what I'm offering. But I've said this in interviews for summer jobs. I tell them I make the worst employee because I'm going to show up on time. I'm going to work my butt off. But once I'm trained in is basically when I got to say goodbye, because Labor Day is all I've got. I can't physically be on site anymore, but I kind of like the idea of working in the online space because I could potentially do that from school too if it doesn't interrupt the school day or it doesn't take me too far away from my family. Like, I'm interested. I've been on the Disrupt podcast the past it was in January is when they recorded it, but it just dropped at the beginning of April here, and so I'll put that link in the description. And next week I'm being interviewed by the Cabinet Makers Association. That's one contact that I'm really excited about. and they're not online. They're just, they've got some pages. They post once in a while, but I wish I could help organizations like the Minnesota Woodworkers Guild. Like, their premier event is tonight, and there's been just so little drummed up online about it. And I know you'd get that next generation if you were online. So the Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, X, YouTube, like it. I think we can do a better job in the teaching world, or excuse me, in the woodworking world, in the just skilled trade industry, like showcasing what we've got to offer for kids so that they can see. And as I wrap up today, please make sure to follow, like, subscribe, all that stuff, rate and review. But seriously, reach out. If you're a teacher that's looking for something, for help, reach out. Share everything I got for free. It's it's curriculum, it's project plans, lessons, behavior support, marketing. Like it's here. Okay, it's here. You can have it. It's going to make the world a better place, close that skills gap, hopefully put some money in everybody's pockets so that we can enjoy the American dream. So, like I said, I'm not going to be on all that much. It'll probably be one more episode, and then summer we'll kind of see what happens. But check me out on that Disrupt podcast. That one I'm really proud of. The Cabinet Makers Association one. I'm excited for the summer. So thank you for watching. Wish us luck at the Woodworkers Guild event tonight. You can check out updates for that on Instagram. I'm probably not going to post this actually until next week. And so check and see how we did. All right. As always, thanks for watching. My name is Bobby Miller, and this is Mr. Miller's Woodshop Podcast.